you're up there, dude.
On the last episode, I had made it to Moab. I'd done a mountain bike, and now it was time to explore on 4 wheels.
Good day. Fine. Bump it. Give it power. Power. Towards me. That's great. Looks scary, but you're okay.
That was a little more difficult than it felt like it should be.
We found an awesome campsite on a mountain outside of town off of Yellow Creek Road on BLM land. That night, we watched the Starlink launch. At the time, we had no idea what it was, and we're guessing probably aliens.
I want you to drive.
Campsite was across from the Moab Rim Arch. You needed binoculars, but you could see it from the campsite. So we decided to explore it.
The road was a little bit rough, but not bad considering what we've been through on Elephant Hill, so nothing we couldn't handle.
Pongo sounds like a cheap mattress in a bad motel.
In order to get to it, we had to drive along the Behind The Rocks OHV area. The trails leading to the 4 arches are part of the Behind The Rocks OHV area. This area is very well known to off-roaders as the Easter Jeep Safari uses it every year. The first arch we made was the Moab Rim Arch itself. After hiking up to it and looking around, we did the short drive up to the Took Arch. It has a much longer name, as you can see below, but I will never pronounce that right. After flying the drone and some group pictures, we hiked back to the truck, and Beth navigated us through some more tough trails.
This section was particularly difficult.
Come on. Alright, just slide. There you go.
We continued along these trails, at one point even came to an obstacle we had to backtrack. This was one of her famous shortcuts. She's famous for those. Eventually, we made it to Balcony Arch. Not a lot to see here. Someone had set up camp at the base. It would have been too much to try to climb up to it. So a quick picture, and we went down a little further to Picture Frame Arch. Picture Frame Arch still required a bit of a scramble to get up to and into, but it was really cool as it was in a bowl. We took the easy way back to camp. After such a long day on the trails, we decided to have an easy one the next one. Caught up on some camp chores, and I went for a mountain bike ride. The next day, it was time to explore some more. We headed up to the Sal Mountains. Our first goal was to hike to the Brumley Arch. The description listed it as having a waterfall in a slot canyon and the arch, and reports suggested that the waterfall still had some ice on it. You had me at waterfall.
I walked it, but no one videotaped that.
You know the rules. If it's not on film, it didn't happen.
Yes, Jane, you walked it. Here's your credit. Happy? The arch is just a short walk down from the waterfall. We hiked back out and decided to drive further up the trail to Geyser Pass.
Get the bob wire out of the way. Nice man through.
We'll do for lunch, I think.
After lunch, I decided to play around and make some more pictures of Pongo in the snow and managed to get stuck. James and Elizabeth definitely seemed to enjoy giving me a quick tug out.
Content.
He's holding the strap up so it doesn't get muddy.
That's a really long strap.
We continued further and further up the mountain until we ran into a Ford Raptor that was completely buried in the snow.
You gonna do a tug? All right.
As James and I hooked up and pulled him out, Beth walked ahead and came back to report that the trail had gotten very narrow and very snowy, and it was time to turn around. That night, we moved camp again, this time to a spot on public land closer to Arches National Park. It was time to prep for some pre-sunrise hikes.
Stop it, stop it. Give it power. Power, 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 power.